Hello, so I want to kind of do a video about so a lot of people say the twins aren't good anymore, like they aren't worth investing in, or I hear that a lot and I really just doesn't ring true. Like twins are like probably the most effective DPS combo in the history of the game. Like they are just so efficient. Like they have really good synergy. Lars buffs magic penetration, and then moves the enemy team around, like pushes them back and clusters them up. Krista puts a bunch of ice shards on there and benefits, does a lot of damage when enemies are moved over those ice shards, and she also benefits from the magic penetration buff. So it's just a really powerful combo, and people always like, well, what about Isaac? Yeah, but who's using Isaac on defense, right? You don't see Isaac a lot on defense, and a lot of times though, it's like what the twins are really good at though is beating heroes like Dante and Iris. They're really good versus heroes like this, like twins teams. Like if you use like Aurora, Celeste, Lars, Krista, generally is really good versus Iris versus Dante. Um, like you can beat Iris Dante teams like with these heroes quite often. I mean, so long as they don't have like Isaac with them, which again, you don't see Isaac on defense very much, and people are like, well, Isaac's an issue. Like, if you don't see him on defense, then what's the matter, right? It's all about developing your teams. It's all about getting wins. Like, you want to be able to win in Guild Wars, and like I said, you want to be able to get your wins in. Maybe to a lesser extent, Arena. Like, and if people aren't using Isaac on defense, then Isaac's not a problem, right? So you might see a team like, let's say you'll have a team like this. So let's say you have Heidi. Let's say you have no, not the Iris. And where's Dante? Like, so you'll have like a Dante. Like I said, I've seen this line's pretty popular for some reason. Like I said, the problem with this line is why I said, but I've seen a lot of people like say this line's hard. They can't beat this line, right? They'll say this team's too hard, right? Like, so if we take so let's take like what is it, somebody's using like a Kira team or something, like this will also I say physical attackers not really worth investing in, because Aurora, Dante, they spam dodge buffs all day, and you can't really win versus some of these heroes. Like you'll have Nebula, boom, like, and there's actually had somebody. So you can even use like I saw somebody trying to use Yasmin like in a team like this. I think maybe they actually said I can't remember. They probably had Sebastian. Like a lot of times, like said, they probably I would think have Sebastian. You probably wouldn't put something on Nebula, but it'll see a team like this. Like try to, and really you're hoping Yasmin gets some early picks, but you also don't have Morgan, so you're in a lot of trouble if you're not able to get Rufus down. Like I said, you really gotta hit Rufus with a physical hit. If he dies pure damage, he revives. Which also kind of like why Rufus is he's good on defense mostly because people are bad at playing the game. Like people actually know how to play the game. Like so it's pretty easy. Like, but yeah, no, this is a team. I think as a guild may use this account line. He couldn't beat Dante. Take Dante's my crypt. Like Dante's easy to beat, but you invested in honestly kind of a bad team. Like you put all your resources into what I'd say is not a particularly good team. Like so that's not a good team. Like I said, I think if you cut Kira puts like something a bit better. Like let's see, maybe we can do with Nebula. Like I said, we know this is again twins are kind of theme, but twins run over teams like that, and I'll show you that in just a second. Like I can run over teams like that, no problem. Something like this, right? So like is probably going to be a bit better here. Like it's just because you'll have some healing maybe. But Kira's pretty suspect. The only problem is you're probably not going to get Rufus off the board with Yasmin. Unless you get a hit on there. It's like, so this is why you'd bring in Morgan. But like I said, this is just like I said, the Dante makes it tough for physical attackers here. And this is why you would bring in, this is why you'd use twins. Why I say twins are still really good, because twins, like I said, so these kind of teams, they get absolutely demolished by Dante. But if you use like a twins team with, they don't have a control hero, so you don't need Sebastian. Sebastian's really good versus controls. He's the best hero in the game, but if they don't put like Arachne or something on defense, you get a free slot. You can now put in a 5th hero. Now you can deal with Rufus. Like, Morgan is a hard counter versus Rufus. Like, she 100% blocks Rufus res, so you can just run this line, and this line literally walks over that team. Like, right here, this is part of why twins are so good, is that they can be, like I said, Aurora has also buffs the dodge, which shuts down Dante's ability to do damage. All those dodge buffs, really hard for Dante to actually get damage in. Like I said, Iris can do some damage with her ults. But the problem here is that once she ults here, like if she's, well, we're actually getting pushed back already, but it's like when she ults, like it's right here. See, it didn't end up in front because they were in the process of moving back. What happens? So now the exposed soul is now not out in front, so it's actually safer behind Aurora. And like that's a thing that happens. Like this is why Krista and Lars is really good versus Iris, because displacement ends up messing up Iris here. Like the exposed soul can kill a hero really quickly if it's up front, right? If it remains up front. But if it's not up front, then it's like said, then it's a lot harder to actually kill a hero that way. See if we can speed this up here. Boom, just like that. Like I said, so that ends up being, like I said, the twins literally walk over lines like that, can beat all these, like even Rufus. Like if they don't have a control hero, then like you don't need Sebastian. Like this makes it so much easier. Like Iris teams, like Dante teams, like really easy wins here. Same thing if like Dante's a tank. Like you might see Dante as a tank somewhere. Like, which said Dante is not a tank. I don't recommend using him for it, but he works versus certain teams just because they try using physical attackers. That's why I say physical attackers really aren't, they're in a kind of a bad place right now. Ishmael is like the only like true like physical attacker that's like worth using. The rest are every other physical attacker, like, you know, Yasmin's mostly pure damage, Jude's mostly pure damage, Dante's used more for his supportive abilities of buffing dodge, right? So Ishmael's like the only one where you're winning with physical damage, right? He's the only hero that you're actually doing that with. So let's say they use like a Nebula or something to try to get some boosting here. So doing like this again, if there's no control hero here, like you don't even need, like, so we could put Arachne in this one, like, and honestly, but because it's don't have Rufus, I don't even need like Morgan, but we could probably just throw him in here anyway, just because usually he's my strongest hero and he can survive a hit with Dante with that and puts Lars in the 5th spot. It's sometimes I just use him anyway, just so he can soak up, because so when Dante ults, he only hits the first 4 enemies, so Lars in the 5th spot is generally protected from getting hit by Dante, at least till somebody takes a dirt nap. But it's like teams like this, like if we try like a Kira team or we'll try like a Kark team stuff, they will struggle with those Dante teams, like those pure physical teams. Like if you go like any of these like Kira blender type teams or like Kark teams, like where like they struggle with this. Like, and this is kind of why I say physical attackers are in a bad place. And twins, like I said, they will get easy wins versus a lot of the quote unquote good teams in the field, just because they are just so effective at killing stuff. And where's Sebastian? Like, so a team like this probably will just absolutely get demolished here, but we can try it. We can try a Kark team. Said maybe you can get it working here. Said if Dante had bad dodge roll. So actually you get a win here. Like if Dante win, like I said, this is the other thing. Like physical, sometimes you can get a win here. Like you actually, like I said, and this is also a reason why I say Dante's not a tank. But I've seen people lose with teams like that. They say, oh, no, I can't beat Dante. I'm like Dante is not nearly as fearsome as they say, but we actually got a win there. I don't know if we get that 100% just because dodge rolls. Sometimes bad dodge rolls is enough to put you down, but we can definitely try it again, see if we can repeat history here. Like I said, that team's kind of squishy. Like I said, I've never been too impressed with Dante tank teams, but a lot of people like to use them. Like a lot of people, I mean, I feel like Dante might be one of the most overrated heroes in the game right now. Like he's really good for like buffing dodge. I think he's better, but he's not good as a tank. I don't know why people try to use him as a tank, because he's pretty, Yep, see. Yep, okay, there you go. Oh, then Kira died, see. And that's the problem. Like, dodge rolls, like, there was randomness there. Like, the first time he had bad dodge rolls, and, well, it was an easy win, but now it's just absolutely get crushed. So you can't, sometimes you'll get lucky and you can win, but, like, you can't rely on that, like, because it's like, but with magic damage, you can't dodge magic damage unless you're Heidi. Like, Heidi's the only one that can evade magic damage. Like, so that's the issue. Like, so if, let's say if we use, like, where's, like, a Kark team or something. Like, not, I've never been too impressed with Kark. Like, so a lot of people, whatever, I don't know why people use Astaroth the Kark. Like, I have no idea at all, but you'll see his line like this. Maybe as Faceless and then probably Martha. Something like this. You'll see a team like this. We'll see. I kind of think this you're going to have a bad time here. But we'll see. So we have to go manual here. Try to get... Nope, actually, maybe that was a... Said, don't think it's going to matter much. I think this... You're screwed. Yeah, now see... Physical damage. Like, it's too hard to win with physical damage. By don't invest, like, all these marksman and warrior heroes. Like, honestly, you shouldn't be investing in them. Like, they're a waste of resources. That's why I said this right here. Like, these kind of teams, twins can beat them. Twins can beat the Kark teams. Twins can beat most things in the field. Like, just so long as they don't have, like, the biggest counters twins you have to worry about are Leanne. Like, honestly, Leanne's probably the bane of twins. Not like I said, like, it really is. Like, it's not Dante. Like, all these, like, common physical attack teams, like, the twins will... Aurora, Celeste twins will run over pretty much any physical attacking team you want to throw out on the field. Like, so this Kark team that we just used, that's popular. Like, Aurora, like I said, just destroys it, right? Aurora with Trinity twins, like, we use a Trinity twins line just to destroy that. Right, and a lot of people struggle with this team. Like, oh, people think Kark's good. My Kark's good until you use a good team to beat it. Like, and this is, I just kind of want to show you, like, this is still a good team. And still worth investing in 2023. Because you can get a lot of wins. And also, first card, you probably want to put Axel on Lars. And you could put Chorus here in the middle to give some extra protection too. But pretty much, so long as Lars doesn't die, you win. And just like that, boom. Like, and it's just like, the twins are just so good at, so well equipped at beating such a large section field. Like, it's just such a good team. And I've showed you, like, pretty much your biggest issue you'll run into is if they are running a team that has, like, Rufus and Arachne. Like, that's kind of like the combo that, like, you'll see that a lot that might hurt twins. Like, I'll see this one a lot, and then they might have, like, Martha or something. Like, I'll see this line a lot. This one's a lot harder to win, like, in auto. Like, this is the one where I bring in Kane. This is where I bring in the twins, and then I bring in Kane here. Like, I'd bring in Kane as the pet. Like, and play it in manual. Like, you can't do this in arena, though. So this works a lot better in arena. But there's a lot of players struggle versus this exact line. Like, they struggle. And this, like I said, this team can beat most of it, unless you get a bad roll. I think I might have maybe I had my patrons wrong, though. So, because you generally want Axel on Celeste here. We might be okay here. Just gotta make sure we... Yeah, like I said, I might have had the wrong patron on Celeste. Alright, okay, there you go. Now it's just Rufus. We should be okay. Said having Celeste, though, just like I said, he's probably gonna, like I said, he's gonna have, we have all of our patrons, though, so this might make it a bit too hard to actually get him down, so really need Lars to stun him here. Okay. There you go. Just like that. So you play it in manual. So do we have... Oh, we did have the patrons wrong. We just got a bad roll, apparently. But stuff like that. People, like a lot of people struggle with that particular line. It's... Right, you can beat it with Ishmael, but you're not, like I said, the problem is, like, Dante will wreck most physical attackers like this. Like, but the twins can beat him. Twins can beat Dante. Twins can beat Iris, which is kind of like... Those are heroes a lot of people struggle with, but... The Aurora Celeste Twins team can beat most of those. There are some exceptions, like they might have Leanne. Maybe they'll have Isaac or something that makes it a bit harder. Or sometimes Dorian. It just really depends on the particular line. Like sometimes Dorian will screw you over with the twins because when you bunch them all up, Dorian's passive can take over. Yeah, so I don't want, I just want people to know that you shouldn't be discouraged from investing in the twins because some people like, oh, they're obsolete because Isaac, but not many people are using Isaac on defense in Guild Wars, like certainly not at the high end. Like Isaac's a really good hero for PvE. Like he's really good for PvP. Like he's really good. Like he's definitely a really good hero. Like he will beat a lot of teams in attack, but a lot of people don't find him very valuable to put on defense. Like there's just better options, but the game is still very magic damage based, like for getting wins in Guild Wars and stuff. And investing in like the twins is like really, like I said, a lot more beneficial than investing in a lot of heroes. And trust me, as someone who runs a lot of clashes, I really wish more people in my own guild had twins because there's a lot of teams. Like you'll see the Kark teams on defense, you'll see the Dante teams on defense, you'll see the Irish teams. And a lot of people are like, I don't know how to beat these teams. Like I see it in clash, like, well, do you have twins? Like twins runs over all those teams that a lot of people say are really hard to beat. Anyway, like that's pretty much all there is for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you missed my last video where I talked about why teams like Stone Cold and Trinity Twins are good, you can find that below. Thanks for watching.